We want answers. Give us answers.
Then follow me and listen to my speech, friends. Cassius, go down to the next street and divide the crowd. Let those who will hear me speak say, lead those away who follow you, and will explain publicly the reason for Caesar's death.
I'll listen to Brutus.
I'll listen to Cassius and we'll compare the reasons.
Quiet, noble Brutus has mounted the platform.
Be patient until I finish. Romans, countrymen, and friends, listen to my reasons and be silent so you can hear. Believe me and my honor, then keep my honor in mind, so you may believe me. Be wise, and when you criticize me, and keep your mind alert, so you can judge me fairly. If there is anyone in this assembly, any dear friend of Cassius, I say to him that my love for Caesar was no less than his. For then, that friend demands to know why I rose up against Caesar. This is my answer. It's not that I love Caesar less, but that I am Roman more. Why would you rather that Caesar were living and would all go to the graves as slaves, or that Caesar was dead and would live as a free man? I weep for Cassius, for Caesar, in that he was a good to me. I rejoiced in his good fortune. I honor him for being brave, but his ambition for that, I killed him. There are tears for his love, joy for his fortune, honor for thy bravery, and death for thy ambition. Who here is so low that he wants to be a slave? If there are any, speak, for he is whom I've offended. Who here is so barbarous that he doesn't want to be a Roman? Is there any? Speak, for this is whom I've offended. Who here is so vile that he doesn't love his country? If there are any, speak, for he is whom I've offended. I pause for a reply.
No one, Brutus, no one.
Then I have offended no one. I've done no more to Caesar than you to me. The reasons for his death are recorded in the Capitol. His glory has none. His glory has not been diminished where it earned it, nor have these offenses for what he was killed been engaged. Here comes his body, mourned by Mark Antony, who through he had no part in killing, will benefit from his death, receiving a share in the Commonwealth. As all you will, with these words, leave, just as I as my best friend, for a good Rome, so I will kill myself when my country requires my death.
Live, Brutus, live. Let's carry him in triumph to his house.
Let's build a statue of him near those of the ancestors.
Let him become Caesar.
Caesar's brother's quality exists in Brutus, and we will crown him.
We'll bring him to his house with shouts and celebration.
My countrymen,
Silence, Brutus speaks.
Quiet there.
good countrymen, let me leave alone. I want you to stay here with Antony and pay respects to Caesar's corpse, and listen to Antony's speech about Caesar's glories, which he gives to our permission. I ask that none of you leave except myself until Antony is finished.
Let's stay and hear Mark Antony. Let him mount the pulpit. We'll listen to him. Noble Antony, mount the podium.
For Brutus' sake, I am indebted to you.
What does he say about Brutus?
He says that for Brutus' sake, he finds himself indebted to us all.
We better not speak badly of Brutus here.
Caesar was a tyrant, that's for sure. We're lucky that Rome is not rid of him.
Quiet, let's hear what Antony has to say.
You gentle Romans.
Quiet there, let us hear him.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, give me your attention. I've come here to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do is remembered after their deaths, but the good is often buried with them. It might as well be the same with Caesar. The noble Brutus told you that Caesar was ambitious. If that is true, it is a serious fault, and Caesar has paid seriously for it. With the permission of Brutus and the others, for Brutus is an honorable man, they are all honorable men. I have come to speak here at Caesar's funeral. He was my friend. He was faithful and just to me. But Brutus, he was ambitious. Brutus is an honorable man. He brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms brought wealth to the land. Is this the work of an ambitious man? When the poor cried, Caesar cried too. Ambition shouldn't be so soft, yet Brutus says he was ambitious. And Brutus is an honorable man. You all saw that on the Lupercal feast day I offered him a king's crown 3 times, and he refused it 3 times. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious. and no question, Brutus is an honorable man. I am not here to disprove what Brutus said, but to say what I know. You all loved him once, and not without reason. Then what reason holds you back from mourning him now? Men have become brutish beasts and lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause until it returns to me.
I think there's a lot of sense in what he says.
If you think about it correctly, Caesar has suffered a great deal.
Has he, sirs? I'm worried there will be someone worse to replace him.
Did you hear Antony? Caesar wouldn't take the crown, therefore it's certain that he wasn't ambitious.
If it turns out he wasn't, certain people are going to get it.
Poor man, Antony's eyes are fiery red from crying. Now listen, he's going to speak again.
Only yesterday the word of Caesar might have stood against the world. Now he lies there, worth nothing, and no one is so humble as to show him respect. Oh, sirs, if I stirred your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I would offend Brutus and Cassius, who you all know are honorable men. I would not do them wrong. I would rather wrong the dead and wrong myself and you than wrong such honorable men. But here's a paper with Caesar's seal on it. I found it in his room, in his will. If you could only hear his testament, which, excuse me, I don't intend to read aloud, you would kiss dead Caesar's wounds and dip your handkerchiefs in his sacred blood and beg for a lock of hair to remember him by. And when you died, you would mention the handkerchief or the hair in your will, bequeathing it to your heirs like a rich legacy.
We want to hear the will. Read it, Mark Antony.
The will, we want to hear Caesar's will.
Be patient, gentle friends. I must not read it. It isn't proper for you to know how much Caesar loved you. You aren't wood, you aren't stones, you're men, and being men, the contents of Caesar's will enrage you. It is better that you don't know you're his heirs, for if you knew, just imagine what would come of it.
Read the will. We want to hear it, Antony. You have to read the will. Caesar's will.
Will you be patient? Will you wait a while? I've said too much in telling you of it. I'm afraid that I wrong the honorable men whose daggers have stabbed Caesar.
They were traitors, honorable men.
The will, the testament.
They were villains, murderers. The will. Read the will.
You force me to read the will then? Then make a circle around Caesar's corpse and let me show you the man who made this will. Shall I come down? Will you let me?
Come down.
Descend.
We'll let you.
Make a circle. Stand around them.
Stand away from the hearse. Stand away from the body.
No, don't you press up against me. Stand further away.
Stand back. Give him room.
If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. You all know that this cloak, I remember the first time Caesar ever put it on. It was a summer evening. He was in his tent. It was the only day he overcame the Nervii warriors. Look, here's what Cassius's dagger pierced it. See the wound that Casca made? Through the hole, beloved Brutus stabbed, and when he pulled out his cursed dagger, see how Brutus's blood came as it was rushing out? They adored to see if it was really Brutus who he was. Mocking so rudely for Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. The gods know how dearly Caesar loved him. This was the most unkind cut of all. For when noble Caesar saw him stabbed, he understood his beloved Brutus's ingratitude. It was stronger than the violence of traitors, and it defeated him. Bursting his mighty heart, and at the base of his Pompey statue, with his cloak covering his face, which was dripping with blood the whole time, great Caesar fell. Oh, what a fall it was, my countrymen. Then you and I, all of us, fell down, white bloody treason, triumph. Oh, now you weep, and I sense that you feel pity. These are gracious tears, but if it overwhelms you to look at Caesar's wounded cloak, how will you feel kind then now? Look at this. Here is the man's scar, as you see, by the traitors.
I dreamt tonight that I did a feast with Caesar, and things unluckily charged my fantasy. I have no will to wander forth of doors, Yet something leads me forward.
What is your name?
Whither are you going?
Where do you dwell?
Are you a married man or a bachelor? Answer every man directly.
Aye, and briefly.
I am wisely.
Aye, and truly, you were best.
What is my name? Whither am I going? Whither do I dwell? Am I a married man or a bachelor? Then, to answer every man directly and briefly, wisely and truly. Wisely I say, I'm a bachelor.
That's as much as to say, there are fools that marry. You'll bear me a bane for that. I fear, proceed directly.
Directly? I'm going to Caesar's funeral
As a friend or an enemy?
as a friend.
That matter is answered directly. For your dwelling briefly.
Briefly, I dwell in the capital.
Your name, sir, truly.
Truly?